How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to an episode here on Let's Build Twitter. As always, I'm Ethan, or Unknown Coder, your favorite underqualified senior software engineer. And as always, if you guys want access to a repository, there's a link in the description down below that'll walk you through exactly how to gain access to that. Now, with that being said, let's go and hop into what we're working on today. And I thought that we had an organization. I must have restarted our server at some point, but that's beyond the point. Today, we're going to be working on getting the content showing up down here. So to do that, we're going to hop into the backend first and get some fetches set up. That way we can actually get our liked post. Then we'll go through, set up this little bar that allows you to click through, and then maybe also try to get the posts and stuff down here. Right now, I don't have any posts, so I'll have to go ahead and set all that up, but we'll deal with that whenever we get there. So with that being said, let's hop into the code and get to work here. So like I mentioned, we're going to be starting out in the backend here. We need to go ahead and make a new query, and this has to be a native query, unfortunately. So we're going to go ahead and say @query like so. Go ahead and import that, and then we're going to go ahead and open this guy up. And here we're going to go ahead and say native query is going to be equal to true, and then we'll go ahead and set up our query. So value is equal to, and this is a pretty long one, so this is going to go ahead and say select p.post_id. We're going to go ahead and select comma p.audience, which doesn't even exist anymore, I don't think, but it is what it is. p.content, p.posted_date, p.is_reply, p.reply_restrictions, p.reply_to. We're going to have p.scheduled, p.scheduled, maybe, scheduled_date. Let me go ahead and scroll over so I can see the rest of this. It's not too much left. We're going to go ahead and have p dot, and then this is going to be author_id, and then finally p dot, and then poll _id. We're going to go ahead and say plus, come down here and continue. This is going to go ahead and be from, and then post p. Let's go ahead and plus again. Here we're going to have join post underscore, and then likes_junction, PLJs for post like junction on post. So p.post_id equal to PLJ.post_id. So we're getting all the posts that match the post like junction, and then plus where our PLJ.user_id, maybe ID is equal to :user ID. So I don't know, the user ID is going to come from a method basically, or a method. So hopefully I typed everything out. I believe I did. We're going to select basically all the post data from post p. We're going to go ahead and join that against our post like junction table, where our user ID is equal to the ID that we pass in. So now this is going to be a list of posts. I don't know why it indented like that, but list of post like so. And we're going to go ahead and call this get user likes like so, and this is going to take an integer user ID, which is going to get passed in here. So we might need to import list. Nope, that's good to go. So now there is a good chance I typoed something in here, so we'll have to double check this once we get going, but that looks good. So now let's hop into our post service. We need to fix a couple things in there. So back a while ago, we set up something to make it so we can actually use the timestamps. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to scroll down to where we're creating a post. Let's see here. So it's the one with media. So if we scroll down, all the way down here, create post with media. Inside of our object mapper here, we're going to go ahead and say object mapper dot, and we need to go ahead and register module. And we're going to go ahead and say new Java time module, and we imported this a few episodes back, like the first episode working on this. And then what we need to go ahead and do is we need to come down here, and I believe this also needs to go into create reply. So let me go ahead and copy this and find our create reply with media, because I believe this is going to have the same issue. So if we come down here to create reply with media, I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing and post that in there. That's not in my code or notes, but it is what it is. I guess we just call this mapper. So mapper, register module, and that should hopefully fix that. So now let's just go ahead and come to the bottom here, and we're going to go ahead and set up a new function to get the liked post. So I'll go ahead and put it below this guy. Doesn't really matter where it goes. So public list of post, And this is going to go ahead and be get all post. Actually, do I create this? No, I need to update it. So first we need to update get all post by author. So here we're going to go ahead and say list of post and user post list is equal to new array list. Array list of our users posts. We need to go ahead and order these. That's why I'm doing this. And then we're going to go ahead and say collections dot sort. And we're going to go ahead and sort users list or users. What I call this user post list. I don't know why it's not showing up. Users post list. I cannot type. Oh my goodness. Why can I not type? Users post list. Why is the user's post list not showing up? Because it's a user with an S. User post list. It's still not showing up for some reason. What did I do wrong here? Copy this guy. I'm just going to go ahead and paste it. The S came back for some reason. Terrific. Okay, thank you. And then we're going to go ahead and make this into a list of post. So list, and then we're going to go ahead and return this user's post list. So user post list, like so. And once again, it's not recognizing it. Why you're not recognizing it? Why? I don't know what's going on with this. I must be typing something wrong here. Return this. There we go. Okay, so now that actually sorts that, and then we'll go ahead and do the get likes. So finally, we'll go ahead and say public list of post. Public list of post. Get users likes, and then this will go ahead and have an integer user ID like so. I'm just going to go ahead and return post repo dot, and then we're going to go ahead and say get users likes. I don't know if this is come in the right order or not, because I don't think it matters what date they liked it. I think it's just when they liked it, which order they liked it in, so it's fine. So now it's mad at us because this is returning a list now instead of a string. So now we need to go into our post controller. So inside of our post controller, let's scroll down here to where it's mad. So there should be a get mapping right here. So let's go ahead and change this to a list of post instead of a set of post. That's good to go. And then we'll scroll down here underneath where we have our, I don't remember what we called it, but I guess I'll just go ahead and put it above the view because I don't know. We're going to go ahead and say at get mapping. And then in here, we'll go ahead and say slash likes slash ID. So go ahead and get that by the user. This will be a public list of post. And we'll go ahead and call this get likes like so. This will go ahead and take in a path, path variable. And this will be ID, maybe ID, and then integer ID like so. And we'll go ahead and return post service, maybe. And then dot, this is going to be get users likes, and then pass in that ID, and that should be good to go. And of course, it says there's a compile error, but it should be fine. So let's go into our console applications, and let's go ahead and restart this guy. And then we'll go ahead and hop into the front end as soon as this loads up and get to work there. Perfect, our application is running. So let's go ahead and hop into the front end and get everything set up that we need in there and hopefully start seeing these likes come up. Now we're going to go through and like some posts and stuff, but that should be pretty easy. So back on the front end, let's hop into our profile slice. We need to go ahead and set up our async thunk to actually fetch these likes. So let's go ahead and set it up here. We'll go ahead and say export const, and this is going to be called fetch profile post, and it's going to be equal to create async thunk. So we're going to go ahead and fetch all the posts at once here. Inside here, this will be profile slash post, and then what we're going to go ahead and do is say async, maybe async, and then we'll have our payload, which is going to be a user. We'll also have our thunk API. Let's go ahead and make our arrow function, and here we're going to set up a try catch. So try and then catch E. Inside of our E, we'll go ahead and say return thunk API dot reject with value E. That's good to go. And then inside of our try, we'll go ahead and say let state any equal to thunk API dot get state. I still have not figured out how to actually make this state work, but it is what it is. We're gonna go ahead and say post request is equal to axios dot get, and then this is going to be http // localhost 8000 /post /author $ curly brace. So this should actually backticks. Let me go ahead and fix those up. So we'll go ahead and put a backtick here. We'll go ahead and put a backtick here. And this will be user.userid. And actually this will be payload.userid. So I'm gonna go ahead and change that. So payload.userid. So that is going to get our data. We're not gonna await this because we're gonna set up another function here. So now we're gonna go ahead and set let likes request. And then inside here, we're gonna say if our state.user.logged in, and if our state.user logged in user ID is equal to our payload.user ID, and we have a state.user.token. So if we have all the information, if the user is logged in and we're on that logged in user's profile and there's a token, then we'll go ahead and say let likes rec equal to, and this will be axios.get, and then this will be http://local post 8000 / posts maybe /likes / curly brace payload.user ID once again. And then here we're going to go ahead and have headers. We need to go ahead and pass in the authorization. So we're going to go ahead and say headers and authorization, and this will go ahead and be backticks bear $state.user.token. So that's what we need to go ahead and look for that. And now we have our likes rec set up. And again, we aren't actually watching or waiting for this because we're going to say let res equal to await promise dot all. And inside here, we'll go ahead and pass in post rec, and we'll go ahead and pass in likes rec. So it only actually resolve the likes if we're logged in and we are the profile user. So now we're going to go ahead and set let profile post equal to res of 0, and this is going to be .data.map. We need to go ahead and map these to feed posts. So this is going to be a post. Inside here, we're going to go ahead and say const feed post. We'll probably have to pass in or import that post, but it's fine. Inside feed post, we're going to have reply. We'll have reply, or not reply, I'm sorry, we'll post. We'll have reply to, which is be post.reply to question mark. If that's the case, it'll be post.reply to. Otherwise, it'll be null. We're going to go ahead and have our repost, which is going to be a post.reply to question mark true. And I think this should be post.repost maybe. I'm not sure. Question mark post. And this will be true or false. We'll see if that lets us do it, but I feel like I typoed there. And then we'll have repost user. And it's still saying reply to, so maybe it is supposed to be reply to. I don't know. We'll see what happens here. So then we're going to go ahead and say repost user post.reply to question mark post.reply to .author. Otherwise, we need to set up a fake user, which I don't think I actually ever set up because I didn't remember where it was being used at. So let's go and import post from here. Okay, so we do need to go ahead and set up this fake user. Return feed post. So there's a couple things I want to look into. First, I want to look into this post reply to and whatever. We need to go ahead and set up this fake user. So let me go and hop into GitHub. I need to get the code for the fake user and see where it goes, and then we'll be right back. So we're going to go ahead and open up our Explorer, and we are going to go ahead and keep post reply to and whatnot. We're going to go up to where our post is. We're going to go into profile, and this is going to go ahead and be utils/profile utils.tsx, I believe. We'll go ahead and make it tsx. I don't know if it needs to be. Go ahead and close that. And then we're going to go ahead and say export const fake user is going to be a user. Okay. And then let's go ahead and say user ID is 0. We're going to go ahead and have first name be nothing. We'll have last name be nothing. We're going to go ahead and have email be nothing. Email. We're going to go ahead and have username be nothing. We're going to go ahead and have phone be nothing. We'll go ahead and have date of birth. And this is going to go ahead and be month 1. day 1, and then year would just be like 1990, just making up a year, doesn't matter. And then we'll have our bio be nothing. We'll go ahead and have our nickname be nothing. We're gonna go ahead and have our profile picture be null. And I have to set this up because of poor planning. Banner picture be null. We're gonna have verified account be false. We'll have private account be false. We're gonna go ahead and have organization be null. We're gonna go ahead and have business be null. We'll have location be null. And then we'll have website URL be null. We'll have our display birth date is uppercase, false, create timestamp will be a new date. And then finally we'll have following be an empty array, and we'll have followers be an empty array. I just didn't set up our user very well with like optionals and whatnot, so that's why it's kind of jank. So we're gonna go and import, doesn't want to come in, user from, let's go ahead and find where our utils are. So utils / global interfaces. And okay, there's our fake user. Let's go and hop back into our profile slice here. Now what we can go ahead and do is we can load in this fake user from our thing there. So let me go ahead and just come up here and go up here. We'll go ahead and import our fake user from, and this is going to come back here. We need to go into our features / and then this is profile / utils. And then this is going to be / profile utils like so. And I don't know why it's not showing up. Fake user. Let me go ahead and double check this. Oh, I put it in the wrong place. That's why. Let me go ahead and grab it. I'm an idiot. So I don't know where I actually put that, I guess. So that's not good. Let's go ahead and grab this. We already have a profile utils. I'll go ahead and delete it in a second. Should have went ahead and checked. Let's go ahead and grab this, paste it in there, save that. And then we can go ahead and delete this. Go ahead and try to import user again. There we go. Save that. Let's go ahead and get rid of this extra one that we don't need. Okay, let's go back into a profile slice. Okay, it looks like it's importing now. Let's just double check. Cool. So now we have a fake user there. So now we can go ahead and move forward. So there's our feed post, and then we need to do something similar with our likes. So we'll go ahead and say let, and then profile likes like so. Then we're going to say if we have a res for 1, then we're going to go ahead and say profile likes is equal to res1 dot data dot map. We'll go ahead and say post, and then in here we'll go ahead and have const feed post, which is a feed post, equal to, and then we'll have post again. Whoops. We'll have reply. If I could actually type correctly, reply to will be post dot reply to question mark. If that's the case, it'll be post dot reply to. Otherwise, it'll be null. We'll go ahead and have repost, which would be post dot reply to question mark true or false. And then finally, we'll have repost user, which will be post dot reply to maybe question mark. So this will be post dot reply to dot author. Otherwise, it'll be fake user once again because you won't be able to see it. So that's good to go. Then we need to go ahead and return our feed post. All right. And now the last thing that we need to go ahead and do is set up the return. So we're going to go ahead and return our profile post, maybe. If I could type. And we'll also go ahead and return our profile likes, which may or may not be empty. Cool. So as long as this is all set up right, that should be good to go. So now let's go ahead and hop into our fetch profile post reducer. So we'll go ahead and come in here. So let's say builder dot add, dot add, maybe if I could type, add case. And in here, we'll go ahead and say fetch profile post dot pending. And we'll set up our arrow function, so state action, and then here we'll go ahead and say state is equal to dot 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 state, and we'll go ahead and say loading post is equal to true. like so, and then we'll have error is equal to false. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and return the state. Let's go ahead and set up the fulfilled. So underneath this fulfilled, we'll have builder.add case, and then we'll go ahead and say fetch profile. Nope, this should be profile post.fulfilled. And then we'll have our state and action. Go ahead and set this up. So here state will equal to ... state. And then we're going to go ahead and set up loading post to false. We'll go ahead and say profile post will be action.payload.profile post, and we'll have profile likes be action.payload.profile likes. And if we don't fetch it, it'll just be like null basically. We'll just ignore it, return the state, and then finally we'll set up the last bit. So builder.add case, this is going to be fetch profile post.rejected. We'll have our state and our action, and in here we'll go ahead and say state is equal to ... state. We'll have loading post as false, and we'll have error as true. We'll go ahead and return that state. Okay, so we are getting a little bit long here, not super long, so we'll see how far we get. Next, we need to go ahead and make sure that we actually fetch this. So let's go back up to our fetch user information or whatever this is. So our load user profile, we need to set up a Thunk API to fetch this stuff. So Thunk API dot dispatch, and we'll go ahead and dispatch to fetch profile post, pass in that user, and that'll go ahead and dispatch and do all that stuff asynchronously. So we'll fetch everything, fetch the user, load the profile, and then we'll load in the other profile information as we get it. So that looks good. Now, I don't know if our fetching post and fetching like specifically is going to work. So we're gonna have to go through, make some likes, and then deal with that. But first, let's just go ahead and get a component set up that we can make that request. So let's go ahead and hop into our profile content. Actually, we don't need to do that because it fetches it automatically. So actually, let's go ahead and hop into the front end and just make sure this is working before we get too far. We're going to go to the feed page, make a couple likes, go to the profile, and make sure that it's making the fetch call correctly. So let's hop into the front end real quick. Let's go to the home page. Let's go ahead and give this a refresh. And then let's also go ahead and open up the inspect and make sure that whenever we call our likes and stuff, it's working. So let's just make a couple likes here. I think that worked. I'm not sure. It says it's pending. Okay, it went through. And then we'll also go ahead and just do like one for Morty, I guess. I don't know why it's taking so long to make a like, but it is what it is. So that should be good. If we come into Redux, I don't know that this is up to date. So if we come into Redux DevTools, open up in a new window and take a look, now we can see that our like up fulfilled. And now if we go into profile, hopefully it fetched everything. I think it failed. Let's see, a 401 for post/author. Okay, so I think I need to add in the whatever it's called, and post.likes. I got a 500, which is what I was worried about. So one, we need to go ahead and add in our header, I guess. And then here, let's figure out what's going on with this. That's what I was worried about. So in our application, let's see what went down. I missed a space, it looked like. So let's go back in here. Inside our post repository, let's see, from join, I need to add a space here. I need to go ahead and add a space there. I need to add a space here. And let's go ahead and restart the server and try again. So let's go ahead and the server restart on its own. Perfect. Let's wait for it to finish. Cool. Let's go and hop into the front end. Let's go back to home. And let's go ahead and let's just like a couple things here. Okay. And then we'll go ahead and like this one. That's fine. And make sure it goes through. If we go to profile, I'm still getting a 500 on likes. We'll see what's going on now. And I'm still getting unauthorized on that. So let's see what the error is now. So syntax error, p join. I thought that I just fixed that. There's a space there now. And there's a space here. So why is it saying there's an error? And I'm going to do something I don't really love doing. I'm going to go ahead and just copy paste this code from GitHub and then see if that fixes it. Because it seems like it's an issue with like a space because it says like P and join. Unless, let me just double check join. Yeah, it's got to be there. So I'm just going to grab that from GitHub. I'm going to go ahead and paste this in. Okay, let me save that. Let's make sure the application restarts, and then we'll try again. Okay, let's go up into the front end now that it started. Let's give it a refresh, go back, give it a refresh. We don't need to actually make any likes. I just want to see it come back properly. So let's go ahead and make 1 like here. Wait for it to come back. Okay, go into profile, and it looks like this one went through. Our likes did in fact come through. Our response has that like. Perfect. And now we need to go ahead and fix this guy. So let's hop back into the code. So I also need to go ahead and put in our authorization for the other one. So let's go ahead and Y. I don't think that I needed this, but it also might have been because at one point I'd set it up so that we didn't need to have this. So I think that's what's going on here. So we didn't need to have the auth, but now we do. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to have this. We're going to say if our state.user.logged in. Actually, I was going to say state.user.token. If we have a state.user.token, then we'll go ahead and say post-rec is equal to axios.get. Go ahead and fix this up, grab this guy, and then go ahead and delete this. Go ahead and paste this in like so. And then we're going to go ahead and also set up our headers. And I did this wrong. Let me go ahead and make sure I put this in the right spot. Here we go. Set up our headers. And then this will be authorization. So authorization colon, and then this will be backticks var, and then $, curly brace, state.user.token. Just got to make sure that we're actually have a token we're logged in. Okay, let's go ahead and give it one more shot here at loading that up. So let's hop into the front end, go ahead and give this a refresh, and this is broken. So let's go ahead and see. So now we might have to do something similar to what we did here. So we'll go ahead and say let profile post like so, and then we'll say if we have a res of 1, or actually be res 0, I'm sorry. We'll go ahead and delete this bit like so, and we'll say profile post is equal to, I guess I just needed to delete the let, it's fine. Go ahead and grab this guy, just making a few changes on the fly here, paste that in, go ahead and format that to make it look prettier. Now let's see if it comes through. Let's go ahead and go back, give this a refresh. We should still have a like in there, but I just want to make sure we get our content as well, which we're not going to fetch anything because we don't have any posts, but we go ahead and say profile, and now our content's coming back and this is coming back. And if we had a post, if we come back, I need to set up this post here. Let's just say, let's make a quick post. And I need to figure out why this is so slow. I'd really love to redesign this, but we'll see. Make the post. Now if we go ahead and go into our profile, we should see that this came back. The response, let's make a quick post. We'll go ahead and have this guy. So that's good to go. So we're already at 32 minutes here. Obviously it's going to edit down a little bit shorter than that, but I think we're going to go ahead and wrap it up here. In the next episode, we'll focus solely on getting all of the content set up and everything, because I don't think that we're going to have time to really fit all of this in. If you did enjoy, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Everything helps out here with the YouTube algorithm. If you guys do want to see where we started from absolute scratch to get to the point we are now, there's a playlist in the description down below, or actually in the end card that's coming up, that'll go ahead and walk you through all of that. So with that being said, y'all, hope you have a great day. This has been Ethan Uncoder, and I'll see you guys in the next video.